Hello, how's everybody doing today? How is everybody doing today? Hopefully you guys are doing well. I'm doing well. So today, what we will be doing is a little bit of ranked Pokemon. So Pokemon Sword and Shield, and I know that there are a lot of people right now that are potentially excited for the remakes that are coming out later this month. The Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes, and I too will also be playing those games. And I don't know, maybe I'll stream it. I haven't decided yet, but I mean, there's a good chance that I probably will end up streaming them, and that'll be a lot of fun. But in the meantime, we will go back to our old haunt of Pokemon Sword and Shield, because at the start of this month, there has been released a new rule set and a new ranked season. And so the rule set for this particular season is actually the same as a prior season. We are now in Series 11, and the rule sets are the same as actually Series 8. And what that is that there are a select list. There are a select list of restricted Pokemon that you can bring, but you can only bring one of those types of Pokemon. And those kinds of Pokemon, the restricted Pokemon, usually the like the box legendaries. So like the legendary Pokemon that appears on the box of a game, usually that's what it refers to. So it's like the signature Pokemon in that particular game. So what do I mean by a restricted Pokemon, right? A box legendary. I'm talking about, the big boy Pokemon, the Pokemon like Mewtwo, the Pokemon like a Kyogre, the Pokemon like a Groudon. If we're talking about the Diamond and Pearl remakes, they would be Dialga and Palkia, like the super heavy, the super powerful, overpowered Pokemon. You can use one of them. You can use one of them in each team. And that has a lot of implications. Also, the other big change from the previous season is the return of the Dynamax mechanic. And the Dynamax mechanic is basically it's the signature mechanic for Pokemon Sword and Shield. It's the new battle mechanic that they've brought into the game. So, previously we've had stuff like Mega Evolutions, we've had stuff like the item gems and that sort of thing. But with Generation 8, Pokemon Sword and Shield, what we have now is Dynamax. And what that is that's a temporary boost to any one Pokemon within a battle for 3 turns, and you essentially become a kaiju. it turns a Pokemon battle into a kaiju battle. And, whenever you see a Pokemon Dynamax or Gigantamax, it's like a special form. I just wonder, how do people get out of this alive? You see these Pokemon with these towering moves, these gigantic moves, these Dynamax moves, which look like they do a ton of collateral damage. And I just wonder, like, how do people actually watch these battles in an arena and not fear for their lives? Because I see a Dynamax move go off and I think, oh my god, they could have killed 10 to 20 people with that attack, So it's funny to watch, it's funny to think about in that kind of way, but it's the new battle mechanic for Generation 8. I wouldn't even go so far as to say new. Because Pokemon Sword and Shield came out in late 2019, so it's actually been around for a couple of years. So I wouldn't say necessarily. So I'll take that back. I wouldn't necessarily say that it's a new mechanic, but it is the signature mechanic of this generation, and so that gives your Pokemon a boost to HP, a boost to its moves, and for 3 turns, it just becomes super big. It becomes like a giant. It becomes a giant Pokemon, right? It becomes a giant Pokemon, and that has a lot of implications on the balance of the game, the competitive balance. Like if we talk about the single-player campaign, the story campaign, it doesn't really affect too much because your opponents can Dynamax too and all of that sort of thing, but it does have quite an impact on the competitive metagame because it invalidates a lot of strategies. A lot of existing strategies become invalidated, and it changes how people are supposed to play. to the point where a lot of the single battle community, which is like the Smogon community, that's like external to the game, they actually enforce their rule set with no Dynamax because they feel that it creates a kind of snowball mechanic that is too unbalanced to mitigate. And so if you play singles, the Smogon format, if you play on Pokemon Showdown, if you play that kind of Pokemon competitively, then you may run into rule sets where they do not allow Dynamax, even though it is the signature mechanic for this generation of Pokemon. But fortunately or unfortunately for us, we do not play Smogon singles. We are playing on the cartridge. We are playing in-game, and we play ranked doubles, which is, you know, basically the VGC format, the official tournament format, because Pokemon actually does have tournaments. It's funny, right? It's funny because Pokemon is quite literally the largest, the most profitable franchise IP, at least in gaming, in history overall. I don't think that there is a bigger franchise in gaming than Pokemon. And it does have a competitive scene. It does have a tournament scene. It does have an official scene with commentators, with tournaments, with events, with prize money, but you rarely ever hear about it. And it's sort of amazing for how big the franchise is, then how small its official tournament scene is. But I do believe personally that that competitive Pokemon, the VGC format, has a lot of potential to grow, and it has grown actually in the last couple of years. Even as, you know, we've, you know, found ourselves limited in certain aspects due to the pandemic, we have, you know, found some growth in the community, some growth in the content, some growth in the tournament participation, and that's really cool to see. That's really cool to see. But as for what that has to do with me today, not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. What we're going to be doing today, let's move over. What we're going to be doing today, my friends, is we're going to be playing a little bit of ranked battles. So we're going to play the doubles format. Unfortunately, I don't have my own team made. I only have like a rental team that I found online, right? And I would like to give it a bit of a spin, but at some point I would also really like to play my own team. Hold on, let's put this sound on. Let's see if this there we go. At some point I would like to make my own team. I do have the capacity to theory craft teams and all of that stuff, but my ability to create teams. Crazy Fox, welcome. How are you today? I hope you're going well. We're just getting into a little bit of Pokemon battling today, playing a little bit of ranked, and hoping to climb the ladder because it's a new season, so a lot of the progress resets, and I want to see how far we can get with this rental team that I've gotten off from online, right? And I would like to make my own team one day, but I don't really have the capacity. I actually have a friend who can help make me Pokemon teams, and so I'll get to a point where if I have a good theme or if I have a good Pokemon that I want to work with and make a team around that, then I might go ahead and do that. But first I need to like find some inspiration. So Crazy Fox, I do have to ask, I'll ask the normal stuff like how are you doing today and all of that sort of stuff, but in particular, are there any Pokemon that you are very partial to? Are there any favorites that you have, Pokemon-wise? Tired, but that's normal for 2:30 a.m. Good luck with the battles. No worries. I hope that your sleep schedule is able to sort of normalize and you're able to, you know, get the rest that you need and that you deserve. But let's get into double battles. I don't mind showing my opponents my team because it's not even my team. It's not even my team, and we'll pick, I think it's Orlando. It's this one here. And so this team is a sun-based team. So we have Groudon, who sets the sun, and he combos really well with Venusaur. We have the Regieleki, which is really powerful in this game.
Charizard, Grimmsnarl, and Umbreon. And so the idea of this team is that it has the 2 Pokemon at the bottom, which is Grimmsnarl and Umbreon, if you want to play defensive. But then if you want to play offensive, then it has the top 4 Pokemon, where you have Groudon, Venusaur, Regieleki, and Charizard, who are all very offensively tuned. And so they can go through battles and just wipe the floor with the opposition, with the combinations. Vulpix, Cyndaquil, and Scyther are some of my favorites. Okay. I think going for like the evolved versions of that Pokemon, so let's say Ninetales and Typhlosion. I think that there are some Ninetales teams that are out there, like the Alolan Ninetales team, so the Ice Ninetales. I think there's a few out there with that. Typhlosion, unfortunately, I don't think is possible to obtain in Pokemon Sword and Shield, but Scyther, I did see a Scyther team running around in the last couple of weeks or so, and I might take a look at that actually. There's like a Scyther with the Violite item, which made it a lot more bulky, and it worked as a support to some other Pokemon, and I might take a look at that. Black Setsu, welcome to the stream today. How are you today, Black Setsu? Alright, we'll choose this team because this is the team that I found online specifically for Season 11, which is what we're doing right now. So let's just get right into it. That's pretty cool. I tend to just play Pokemon to collect everyone, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I think that a lot of people that play Pokemon play mostly for like the single player campaign and then just to collect all the Pokemon after. Okay, so this is a Trick Room team based on what if I just go, I guess Regieleki. Let's play defensively. Let's go Grimmsnarl, Umbreon. I want to try the defensive mode for this Charizard, Groudon. I think Venusaur is too strong to ignore, but all of them have really good matchups into Venusaur. We'll go with Venusaur. I'm doing good. Just got home from work. Oh, that's good to hear. Black Setsu. I look forward to being able to make the secret bases again. Yes. Some of the signature mechanics from Generation 4 and all of that. But that's good to hear, Black Setsu. Hopefully you have a nice and comfy dinner. All right, now let's try and explain, right? Because what you play in the single player campaign is vastly different to what you have in like the competitive modes, especially doubles. Because doubles is like 2v2 and you select 4 Pokemon for your team. So you have the team of 6, right? But instead of like sending them out sequentially, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you have 6 Pokemon and then they battle 1 versus 1, what we have here is you have 6 Pokemon, but you can only select 4 for a battle, and then they come out 2 at a time. And so that mechanical change in itself lends to a lot of different strategies being used in how you handle this. If this guy leads with Tornado, then I'm just stupid. Alright, let's see what we got here. Okay, Zapdos and Tornadus. And so okay, so this guy was expecting the Groudon, and that's fine. Alright, so my opponent, we'll start off with a light screen. So my opponent, I think we can even go with a Snarl here. Yeah, we can even go with a Snarl. So my opponent has this idea, and so in terms of like, I guess I'll just use my moves now. But in terms of like determining strategies and how to battle, this guy's manual rain setting. Interesting. So the Zapdos is probably going to hit me with a Thunder or Hurricane, but I'm going to have Light Screen up, which is going to reduce the amount of special damage that I'm going to take. So I'll probably be able to eat this Hurricane pretty easily. That may do like 60%. Ooh, that does a lot more than I thought. Is this light? Oh, it's a crit. It's a crit. Okay. I was wondering why that did so much. But that's actually not too bad. We can go Snarl. And then essentially what we can do is we can probably focus in on the Tornadus here. Yeah, I feel like we probably should focus on the Torn. So what I want to do here, Spirit Break. We could even go out. I don't want to go out into Venusaur. That's probably not ideal. But we could probably just Thunder Wave into the Torn. And then I still think Snarl's good here. Like, there's, like, you're not doing any damage to Umbreon, right? You're not doing any damage to Umbreon. Right, please, please, please don't hit yourself in confusion. Alright, Thunderwave, good, good, good. Okay, maybe we can hack him out a little bit. Okay, so just as... Oh, okay, Hurricane into Umbreon. It's going to do like... Yeah, that does nothing. That does absolutely nothing. Snarl again. And then I think the Tornadus is also going to use Hurricane or maybe Air Slash. He's going to use an offensive move. Otherwise, he would have already moved with the Prankster. So Hurricane. And this is going to go out into the Umbreon as well. Oh, geez. See, like, that does nothing. And the unfortunate part is that, like, you get the confusion, which is really not what you want to see. Like, the confusion is, like, a huge issue. Oh, they're all... they've got some physical. So, I guess we can go with a Spirit Break onto the I want to get rid of the Tornadus. I know my opponent will have... And then I guess we can... Like, there's no need for another. We'll just go with a Yawn here on the Zapdos. There we go. There we go. Because he's going to withdraw one of these guys. And this is probably going to be Kyogre or Rillaboom. Yep. And then this is a Rillaboom, so I can hit it with the Spirit Break, hopefully. And then get the Yawn onto the... Zapdos will be ideal. So now we know his 4 Pokemon. He's probably going to try and go for the Parahax, but he's already -2, so it's not going to do any damage. Okay, come on, Umbreon. Okay, Yawn. Okay, good, 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 good. And that's pretty handy into that slot. That's pretty handy into that slot. So Grimmsnarl snapped out of confusion. Spirit Break into the Grimmsnarl. That does reasonable chip. That does reasonable chip. So I'll take that. I'll take that. And so... my opponent is a little bit pinned here, right? So if we take a look at his options, if we take a look at my opponent's options, with the Zapdos, he either needs to withdraw, probably for the Tornadus, or he's going to fall asleep. So we're going to actually pop a Reflect, and we're going to hit the Rillaboom with the Foul Play. I think that's probably ideal here. Okay, he withdraws, yep. And this is going to be Tornadus. Yep. And then Rillaboom is probably going to hit the Grimmsnarl with a Fake Out. Oh, so he's going to go for like a grass... he's going to go for the Wood Hammer probably onto the Umbreon. Or Grassy Glide, okay. Into the Grimmsnarl. That KOs, and that's okay. I'm actually okay with that. And the reason why I'm okay with that is because I can pop the Foul Play. And that's not going to KO. But now I can bring out Venusaur. Because I think there's like 1 turn of rain left, right? There's like 1 turn of rain left. And so... let's see. Like, I'm in a bit of a weird spot, right? I'm in a bit of a weird spot because my opponent does have some really powerful Pokemon for me, right? But I actually... Glitter Ball might be interesting. Hold on. Yeah, this is actually a pretty good idea. Alright. Hold on. Wait. Before I do anything. 139. Okay. So we're gonna outspeed. So, actually want to double into the Tornadus here. Right? Grassy Glide, that's not going to do too much. Yep. I'll eat the berry, heal back up, and then we can double in on the Tornadus here. And I think the double up actually... Oh, tail... Okay. That's fine, that's fine. That's fine, because if we can get rid of Tornadus this turn, then we can... Okay, the Zapdos is going to be troublesome. That's fine as well. Ah, does this not KO? Okay, that KOs. That's big. That's big, and that's pretty important. Because the rain stops, and this gives me weather control, right? This gives me weather control, and this allows me to hopefully outspeed. But I know what my opponent will do is they'll bring out the Zapdos. Ah, welcome, Shife. Welcome, Shife. How are you? How are you today? How are you today? They'll bring out the Zapdos, and then probably what they'll do is they'll bring out the Kyogre in order to get Sun, right? Just finished dinner. Good to hear. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it. Oh, my opponent has me in a bit of a pin because they're probably going to hit my Venusaur with like max Airstream, right? Nah, this is still not good actually. So we're gonna have to. Oh, I don't. Huh. Okay. Let's see. I think we can still go sleep powder, and then we'll go snarl. Snarl. Okay, nice. Okay, so they're gonna max the Zapdos, and then they're gonna hit my Venusaur with a max Airstream. I understand that that's going to happen. Just finished dinner, that's good. Hello, I got PC muted at work, but I am watching whenever no one is here. No worries, JP, no worries. Welcome to the stream, Stealth 100, exactly. Alright. I think we can still do this. Grassy Glide into the Umbreon. It's not going to do too much. At max Airstream. Oh, into the Umbreon as well? That's a big mistake. I actually think that's a huge mistake. Because I'm going to hit this thing with a Sleep Powder and a Snarl. Oh, we missed! Oh, safety goggles! Oh, okay. Okay. Understandable. Have a nice day. I understand. That makes a lot of sense, actually. That makes so much sense. That's why he made the plays that he did. Alright. So we have one turn left of grassy terrain. So this actually puts me in a really, really awkward spot. This puts me in a super awkward spot because it means my Venusaur can't actually do a whole lot now. But I feel like my opponent is going to like double into the Venusaur, I guess. I don't know. No, he's going to hit Venusaur with max air, right? So I could hit the thing with... yeah. This is probably... No, this is actually a bad play. I'm kind of pinned here. I'm going to go for this play, but I don't think it's good. I really don't think this is good. If I'd protect an Umbreon, I would use it. But we'll see what we can do here. And the point of this is to get Sun out. But I'm really concerned that my opponent is just going to use Grassy Glide into... Okay. Oh, that's not too bad, though. This shouldn't KO because he's -1. Alright. Yep. And then it should do... Like, Weather Ball should do okay damage, I think. Yep. Okay. Very good. Woodhammer! Oh, game's over. Oh, wow, that didn't KO. That's impressive. Weather Ball. That's fine. I don't think I can win this, though. I don't have enough damage. I don't have enough damage into my opposition. So I think... Let's see. Grass disappeared. So my opponent's going to swap out Rillaboom for Kyogre. I think the easy swap here is Umbreon. And then... I think Protect is an obvious play. My opponent has hit 2 max Airstreams though, so he's still going to outspeed my Venusaur afterwards. I still think Protect is the right play here because then I can shuffle Venusaur back in maybe or something. I don't know. So yeah, that's obviously coming out. It's going to be Kyogre. And then there's going to be another max Airstream onto the Venusaur slot. But then if I come out with the Umbreon, then it will probably survive. I still think I've lost this one though. But we'll see. Ooh. This is actually really, really difficult to try now because I wanted to talk about like some sort of battle fundamentals as I was explaining all of this, but it's actually quite difficult to talk about like battle fundamentals and could have no, I wouldn't have been able to swap out. You can't swap out. Light screen wore off. Yeah, but it's really difficult to talk about like battle fundamentals like while you're doing all of this stuff. So like my opponent has me in a pretty good pin, right? My opponent has me really, really pinned. I didn't even get to use Dynamax, which is super, super unfortunate. I think at the end of the day, like all I can really do here, like if my opponent is smart, he's gonna swap out the Zapdos for a thing, and then my opponent is yeah. This is so difficult. The problem here is that I wasn't really able to establish speed control. Yeah, all you need to do is just double into the Groudon. So I guess what we do is we just fodder him, you know, we just fodder him. Yeah. I was never really able to establish... Yeah, you just go Hurricane into the Umbreon and then Water Spout into the Groudon. Oh, that's tough. That's tough. That's tough. But I was never really able to establish speed control. And then as a result of that, so what speed control is this idea that, you know, you set up the field so that your Pokemon go first. And by failing to do that, what I've got is a situation where my opponents just do way too much damage to me. Like, I'll still fight it out, right? I'll still fight it out, and I will try my best to get what kind of results I can. But it's like super unlikely that I'll be able to win from here. I don't know. I don't think Zapdos is actually that much of a big... Like, can I take 2 Hurricanes? Probably not. But I would be more likely to take 2 Ice Beams than 2 Hurricanes, I think, at this point. Alright, so we'll try and fight it out, but I don't think I'll be winning this one. If I can win this one, that would be crazy. The thing is, my opponent's Rillaboom in the back, I don't think does a lot of damage into Venusaur. It's just that I did not get enough mileage out of my Groudon. Because my Groudon really didn't get any work done. And if I was able to get some work done, and yeah, that does too much. Even if I get hit with a Water Spout here. Yeah, because that's the... Ooh, wow, that does so much. Was that a crit? No, okay. Is that... That's probably like a Specs Groudon maybe? I don't know. That was tough. That was tough, unfortunately. But because I did not set up speed control in the earlier courses of the match, I was not able to set up my Pokemon to go first. And in competitive battling, the ability to go first is super important. Ah, it's just Mystic Water. Okay. Yeah, the ability to move first is super important. And the reason why it's super important is because a lot of the Pokemon that I used competitively are Pokemon that hit super hard, right? So if you can go first and then you can hit really hard before your opponent can do anything, then you put yourself in a really good spot, right? And so I wasn't able to establish speed control because I was playing with a lot of a slower mentality. And what that slower mentality leads me to have is like Pokemon that are very hard to take down, but Pokemon that also don't do that much damage in return. And so, oh, this looks like a weird set. I still think Groudon goes in pretty hard here though. I think Groudon Regieleki is maybe Venusaur Regieleki. Yeah, I think, yeah, Venusaur Regieleki seems like a solid opener. We definitely need Groudon for Sun. And I do like having... Grimmsnarl? Yeah, I like Grimmsnarl. I like Grimmsnarl a lot, actually. Charizard's pretty good too. But then... Hold on, let's see what stats we have on this Charizard. This Charizard is max speed. Okay. Maybe we just go Charizard, I guess. We'll go Charizard. We'll go the other route. Because the last game, the lack of speed control really hurt me. So I'm going to go the other mode this game. I'm going to go super aggressive, super fast, and we'll see if that does a lot better for us. And we can see already we've run into 2 opponents with Kyogre. And so in terms of like the meta for this particular, you know, like this particular metagame, the weather Pokemon are really strong. This is Urshifu Water and Whimsicott. So what that tells me is that this Whimsicott is probably... hold on. This Whimsicott is probably, like, he's either going to Tailwind or he's going to use, like, Rain Dance or some shit. I feel like Rain Dance is, like, highly likely. So in order to get around that, we're just going to Volt Switch. And, like, with Venusaur, we could do a whole bunch of things, right? We could do a whole bunch of things. But I actually... I don't want to take it out for Charizard. Like, I don't want to use my Dynamax yet, so we're actually just going to Earth Power. Is leaving the Whimsicott alone a good idea? Okay, so Tailwind. So he's just going to go first. Is he going to hit the Regieleki? Surging Strikes into Regieleki. Damn, that's so unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. I could have done a whole lot to mitigate that. Like if I had just moved... Wow, this guy was so risky. He didn't respect me at all. He didn't respect me at all. That's actually sort of upsetting. I'm not gonna lie, that's a little upsetting. He didn't respect my options whatsoever. What the heck? If I'd have just moved in Groudon, he would have done like 30 to 40%, and I would have just one-shot him with the Max Vine Lash from the Venusaur. I am actually so shocked that he didn't respect my options at all. What the heck? Alright, who does this guy have in the back? Who does this guy have in the back? Alright, so... He's probably going to move in his Kyogre this turn, probably for the Whimsicott slot, right? Probably for the Whimsicott slot. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the cheeky, right? We're going to do the cheeky. Ah, but do I want to sacrifice Charizard for this? Okay. So like I can already envision where this is going to go. But I guess we can just go for it. You know, let's just go for it. I'm gonna read him. And I'm gonna say he swaps out the Whimsicott for Kyogre. Ah, okay. Who is this? Okay, Nidoking. That's still good. That's still very, very good. Alright. I'll take that. I'll take that. Because unless he does something to Whimsicott, this should be like a double KO. So I'm happy with that. Unless Whimsicott does something really, really tricky, then we should be able to take out both these Pokemon if our Precipice Blades hit. So let's see what he does here. Memento! Ah! Interesting. Jeez, what a meme. What a meme. Okay. So who does my opponent bring in? Or does he not bring in anybody? Okay, that's fine. That's actually okay still. Because it does that much damage, right? It does that much damage. And then if... Oh, Precipice Blades misses. Of course. But the ambient damage should actually still take it out. So that's okay. That's okay. We get the double KO. So now my opponent... He's got a good, like, position here. Because he was able to reduce the stats of my Groudon. But, like, the Venusaur is going to be the important one here. So I'm not too concerned. Kyogre, that's obvious. And so what I expect is going to be like a Surging Strikes or something like that. Like I'm going to expect a double up. So we're just going to fodder the Charizard here because I don't think the Charizard's going to be able to do too much. And then what we're going to do actually is we're going to max Quake into the Urshifu because we should be able to take most attacks from the Kyogre. Even like a Max Ice is not going to KO us. And we want to ensure that we win the Weather Wars here. Because our Groudon is not going to be doing a whole lot. Our Groudon is just going to get demolished if he stays in by the Urshifu. Because the Urshifu has an ability called Inner Fist. Which allows it to, you know, hit through Protect. You know. So we want to take our Groudon out. And get the sun back up later on, and we will just fodder the Charizard. Nice looking Charizard, very cool looking Charizard, but we'll just let him go. We'll just let him go because we don't really have too much of a purpose for him anymore, you know? So this is going to be my opponent's Urshifu. That's interesting. And then so what? Is he going to max guard the Urshifu? That would be wild. Okay, so he's not. He's just going to max Knuckle into the Charizard, into the Venusaur. That does nothing. I'm not concerned about that at all. I think he will live this turn, which is a little unfortunate. Not what we want to see, but I don't think it's too bad. Water Spout's going to demolish the Charizard. It does a lot to the Venusaur, but we know that it's not going to kill next turn, so that's not too bad. Right, that's not too bad. Max Quake goes out. I don't think this will KO, but it will get... Oh, wow. It doesn't even get close, actually. Doesn't even get close. That's not too bad, though. That's not too bad. I think that may be the last turn of Tailwind. I'm not sure. Let's find out. Okay, they got one more turn of Tailwind, but we do have Groudon, right? And this is actually very important, having the Groudon, because we're able to turn on the Sun, which ensures that the Kyogre is not going to be doing nearly as much with the Water Spout. I feel like the play here... this is tough. I feel like the play here is to protect the Groudon and then just Vine Lash. But then if I get that wrong, we're in Sun, right? We're in Sun, so... But he's still slower. So actually, yeah, protecting is the right play here, and then Vine Lashing into the Kyogre. And the reason is because we want to make sure that the Kyogre won't be able to take out the Groudon, right? Even if my opponent... Oh shit, guys, is okay, that sucks. Guys, it sucks, bro. Oh no, I think I'll lose this one. Oh well, actually, let's see first. Let's see first. Guys, that's clever. Oh my god, that was so clever. And I don't think there's anything I could have done about that. Oh no! Oh, it's a crit. I think that mattered. I think that crit actually did matter. Oh, that's so unfortunate. I've lost this one, guys. I'm losing to all these water teams. It's unfortunate because, like, I wanted to play a water team myself, but then I just decided to play a sun team. I think the very first turn, actually, the very first turn was what lost me the game. And the reason why it lost me the game was because if we take a look at what my opponent has here, they have two water Pokemon. So actually, Regieleki would have just demolished this. But I let my Regieleki go too early. And I think part of the reason was because I'm not, you know, like I still don't have a good handle on the team. And I still don't have a good handle on the matchups. That was a little unfortunate though. I thought I had that one. If it wasn't, because like most of the Urshifus out there are the G-Max variants. And so they don't have the ability to rechange the weather, but the ability for them to rechange the weather there into, into water, into rain was really what demolished me there. Oh my goodness. And so that's one of the pitfalls of like playing Pokemon, right? Because you need to think a few turns ahead. And so, okay, so this is like a sand team on the other hand. So how do I get rid of this team? I feel like Charizard Groudon just goes in here. Yeah, like, well, what does my opponent have? Unfavorable matchups or sniping? I think it's more like unfavorable matchups. Like, it's not necessarily unfavorable matchups per se. It's that my piloting of the team is not necessarily ideal. And if the way I piloted the team was a bit better, I think that I would be able to get it. Ooh, Umbreon into that Zapdos doesn't really look too appealing. Do we go with Regieleki or do we go with Venusaur? I want to go with... Oh, Regieleki doesn't... Yeah, I'll go with Regieleki. But then... No, we should lead. We should lead Charizard, Regieleki, leave Groudon and Grimmsnarl in the back. Yeah. How are you going, Ocat? How are you today? So you don't vibe with it that well? Kind of, JP, kind of. The reason is that, like, I haven't used this team before, so I don't really... Like, I understand the basic archetype of how it's supposed to work. Like, you're supposed to use Sun in order to boost your Venusaur and your Charizard to sort of sweep through opponents, but I haven't got a grasp of, like, the playstyle yet. So it's something that I still really need to learn. Doing good, thanks. I'm glad to hear that, Ocat. I'm glad to hear that. Hopefully the rest of your day goes well, too. Okay, so... This Lycanroc has Accelerock, and Accelerock is going to absolutely demolish my Charizard. So we're going to try... No, actually, we're going to just move to Grimmsnarl. We're going to move to Grimmsnarl, and we're going to use Volt Switch into the Zapdos, and then that should take out its Sash. And then what we can do is we can move out into Groudon, because I feel like Groudon actually has a pretty good matchup into these two. So we'll go into Groudon. And then we can, you know, work from there. Okay, here we draw Zapdos. Who does he go into, though? He goes into Hip... Oh, Hippowdon. Wait. Okay, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. So what's he going to do with the Lycanroc? I'm getting hard red here. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's still okay. The reason why that's still okay is because Grimmsnarl is out on the field. So what we can do here is we can just reflect pretty easily. And then we can also just... Yeah, we can Volt Switch. Because now he's... he doesn't have any resist, so yeah. I mean, that's pretty telegraphed. But we have Reflect. So even an Earthquake shouldn't KO, I don't think. But let's find out. Let's find out. Earthquake, yep. But we do have Reflect. And so I expect this to do almost all the damage, but not all the damage, right? Yep. And then Regieleki's pretty low. And so what I expect my opponent to do here is probably just use like Accelerock into the Regieleki. So like 2 turns so far. I've been absolutely demolished, but we'll go Spirit Break into this and then we'll swap this one out probably for Groudon. And then once the Grimmsnarl goes down, we can go Charizard and just go ham after that. Alright. So the idea will just be to break the Sash. Just to break the Sash on the Lycanroc, and we'll see what we can do from there. We'll see what we can do from there. But I'm pretty sure that, like, my opponent has a way to use priority and get rid of... how are you going, Kenjo? How are you going today? How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Actually, yeah. Since we have a few more people in chat, does anybody have any kind of favorite Pokemon? Because, like, I'm using a Rendell team at the moment, and obviously I'm still having, like, sort of, yeah, Accelerock. I knew that was coming. I'm still having, like, teething issues in terms of how it all works. Like, I'm having teething issues on how to make this work properly for me. So I want to know, does anybody have any favorite... What? Fissure? Fissure. If I lose to this, I'm just going to be like, oh, I give up, bro. If I lose to this, I'm just going to be, you know what? You know what? Have your fun. You know what? Have your fun. Have your fun. I'm just going to, like, end the stream early or play some Age of Empires 4. If I lose to Fissure nonsense, I'm out. I'm out. Alright, alright. Let's see what we can do here. So, I mean, I guess we can protect. Actually, wait. Let's do this a little bit smarter. We'll protect here. Okay, cool. Withdrew. That's okay. I don't mind that. So who comes in? Zapdos? Okay, good. I was able to switch my target. I was able to switch my target to Hippowdon, so that should be fine. So Spirit Break out into the Hippowdon. It's not going to do a whole lot, but it's still useful chip, right? And he's probably going to try and Fissure into the Grimmsnarl. Ooh, Rocky Helmet, okay. Fissure! Oh my god, Fissure. Alright. So we can do this. And then we can... Whoa, wait. What can we actually do? What can we actually do? Okay. Thunder Wave into the Zapdos. And then out into the Charizard. Because Fissure shouldn't affect Charizard, right? Fissure shouldn't affect Charizard. Okay. My favorite Pokemon aren't competitive. The Wooloo and Mareep lines. That's a little unfortunate. Okay, so you really like sheep, right? You really like the sheep Pokemon. You know, Earthquake, I don't mind that. Like, that takes out my Grimmsnarl, but that's okay. I want to see what my opponent's Zapdos does. It'd be interesting to see what my opponent does. So they've got Thunderous Kick. That's not going to do a whole lot. Like, it's gonna hurt, right? Because it lowers my defense. Yeah, and that hurts. That actually does hurt. But it's not too bad, because now what I can do is bring out Regieleki, right? And now I actually have a little bit of a pin on my opponent. Because unless... Yeah, I can just go straight here. Thunderbolt into the Zapdos, and that should knock it out. And then we can go Blast Burn into the Hippowdon. So if my opponent chooses to withdraw... If he chooses to withdraw Hippowdon for another Pokemon, whatever Pokemon's coming in, they're not going to like it, right? They're not going to like it. Lycanroc's not going to like it. And, oh, actually, if that's the case, we should probably just be a bit smarter and use Volt Switch into Zapdos. Zapdos is probably going to protect you, right? Well, I think it's still okay to Thunderbolt. And then, well, Wildfire, because at the very least, it should do residual damage. Like, nothing's going to enjoy getting hit by this Blast Burn. Right, so he's gonna withdraw, and then this is probably gonna be Lycanroc, right? Ah, it's the Regidrago. That's fine. That's actually fine. That's still more than fine. And the reason why is because we're gonna hit it with a lot of damage with this Blast Burn. Like, my opponent is probably going to Dynamax his Zapdos, and then he's going to hit my Charizard with a Max Airstream. And that has probably a chance to KO it. But he won't be able... Yeah, I was going to say he won't be able to do that without getting hit by my Regieleki. I got a little bit lucky there with Thunder Paralysis. But that should just clean KO. And then this Blast Burn should do like maybe 60% damage. So let's take a look and see what happens. Right? That does a lot of damage. And then... I'll continue that damage with the, I'll be able to continue that damage with the residual burn. And that really prevents my opponent from doing the kind of damage that he wants to, right? Because he will want to do damage. Lycanroc's going to come out. The thing is here, right? Lycanroc's going to Excel Rock. Lycanroc's going to Excel Rock. And then he's going to swap out his thing for thing. So... we can actually... I think the ideal play would just be to Electro Web. And then Max Guard. Yeah. Electro Web and then Max Guard. Let's see. Alright. Battle was... Okay, so he just gave up. He just gave up. So we had him in a bit of a pin here. Because all of his Pokemon were not going to like taking a hit from my Max Charizard. And then he had the Excel Rock. Like, he had the Lycanroc, who can use a priority move, but that Lycanroc has no way to hit my Groudon in the back. So I had it, you know, pretty settled. So that was a good win. That was a good win. You can win. Be sure. Thank you for that, OCAT. I appreciate it. We are pun appreciators in this stream. So thank you for that, OCAT. Thank you. I don't remember much Pokemon anymore, says Sharp, but I still remember owning that one bug Pokemon that has like 1 HP or something, but only one specific type of attack can hit it. Yes, Sharp. I know exactly the Pokemon that you're talking about. So the Pokemon that you're talking about is Shedinja. And it's like the, oh, I can't remember the name of like the, it's like the shed skin of like another Pokemon, another bug Pokemon. And it only has 1 HP, but you can't hit it unless your attack is of a certain type. Oh, this is like a balanced team. How do I do against this? I feel like Umbreon's pretty powerful. Do we just go Unga Bunga? I think we just go Unga Bunga. Do we? Yeah, let's just go Unga Bunga. I don't think Charizard might be good in the back. I think Umbreon is really good here as a defensive switch in. Regieleki might be okay, but Regieleki kind of struggles against... Charizard's not bad in the endgame against Zacian as well. Yeah, let's just go Unga Bunga. Let's go Unga Bunga. Nincada. Yes, Horizon. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Welcome to the stream. I think, yeah, Nincada and its evolution. I forgot what the evolution was called, but it was like that. Yeah. And the Pokemon is called Shedinja. And the reason why I know that, right, is because there was actually a period of time in the last season where Ninjas. Yes. Also, thank you for remembering. Yes. Yeah. The only thing I remember about Ninjas. How are you doing today, by the way? Hopefully you're doing well. With Ninjask, I do remember that it gets like speed boost, right? So like you know, it gets faster every turn, and it's already a very fast Pokemon, so it can get very quickly out of control. That's what I do mostly remember about it. So, okay, so I set the sun for him. So he's going to be having a good time here. He probably thinks he's going to be having a good time here. You don't go for the Venusaur, though. Surely you don't go for the Venusaur, right? You go for the Groudon. And so, I think my best option here... Oh, he counter-led me really, really well. He counter-led me really, really well. Because, like, the Venusaur doesn't have a whole lot against the Charizard. So he could just hit it with, like, the max fire attack. But I actually don't mind that too much. Yeah, I actually don't mind that too much. Let's see what we can do, though. Ooh, we just got away with that. We just got away with that. Oh, what? The game didn't register my movements. Oh, this is what I get for, like, waiting too long. The game didn't register my movements. What I wanted to do there was sleep powder onto the Charizard and then move out for Umbreon. And then, so what that does is, like, it puts me a little bit behind, but it gives me an opportunity to sort of, you know, do well for the next coming turns. Protect, I guess, is okay. It's not the worst thing I could do. I'm expecting a follow me. Yeah. And then so what I can do here is I can hit it with the sleep powder, and then I can hit the Charizard the next turn, right? So this will hit it with a sleep powder, and I feel like my opponent's going to use, like, max, what do you call it? Max, Wildfire into the Venusaur. And that's pretty straightforward. Like, that's pretty telegraphed, right? And I actually don't mind that. And the reason why I don't mind that is because I can actually hit it the next turn with my Groudon, right? I can hit it next turn with Groudon. And so this is Life Orb Charizard. Groudon gets hurt a little bit, which is not ideal, but I can actually bring out my own Charizard here. And then I can threaten, right? I can threaten with a Charizard. Like, my opponent can hit me as well. And so it's just like, what do I wish to do here? Because I feel like my opponent is going to swap out. He's probably going to swap out the Clefairy for Incineroar. Probably going to swap out the Clefairy for Incineroar. So we'll do it like this. We'll do it like this. There we go. We'll do it like that. We'll do it like that. There we go. Alright. And the reason is we're going to hope to win the speed tie against his Charizard. We're going to safeguard our Groudon because it looks like Groudon is, like, you know, pretty vulnerable. And then we're just going to hit his Charizard with a max rock. Because Charizard is 4 times weak to rock. So, like, it is possible that he could hit us and then do the same thing to us. But we're going to bank on us being faster or winning the speed tie, or him not realizing what's going to happen. Because, like, he may just hit an Airstream on our Charizard. Yep, and that does a lot of damage, right? Don't get me wrong. That does a lot of damage. But you know what does even more damage? You know what does even more damage, guys? This. I don't know if this KOs, actually. The Clefairy Friend Guard might keep it alive, but we'll see. Yeah, see? So that just demolishes him. And my opponent, I don't know if my opponent has... Yeah, they do have, like, faster Pokemon, so they can use Zacian. Hound. No, Kenja, I don't know what you're thinking about, but that's not what I'm thinking about. That's definitely not what I'm thinking about. Alright, so we got rid of his Charizard, which is really, really good. I feel like his next Pokemon is probably just going to be the Zacian, right? And then what we can do with Umbreon is we can hit it with I guess we can double attack. I think we do have to double attack, actually. So Zacian's going to come out. And this is going to be really hard. Because he can take out my Charizard from here. With, like, max thing. But then, like... We need... Yeah, we actually do need, like... Yeah, actually do need something, right? Alright. That's probably not the right move, but... Okay, good. Fast asleep, that's useful. So he's gonna hit Behemoth Blade, probably into our Charizard. Yep, and that should KO. I'm not gonna pretend that that's not gonna KO. But what we can do now is we can bring out our Groudon. And because my opponent's still asleep, like we used Yawn on that Umbreon. So the Zacian should, like the Zacian actually needs to go ahead and withdraw, right? He needs to withdraw. Now, it would have been, like, if we called a Protect there, you know, we would have had, like, a perfect turn, but, I mean, it is what it is. Alright, so now it's Drought again. I feel like my opponent's last Pokemon is either going to be the Incineroar or going to be something else. So I feel like he's going to call out, he's going to, like, bring out the Incineroar this turn, or it's, like, Regieleki or something. Maybe... So what we're going to do is we're going to Swords Dance. Oh, that's a bit greedy. We could just Precipice Blades, right? Like, yeah. Oh, no. Protecting, because he might go for the KO. Because the Clefairy is guaranteed to wake up this turn, right? So, I'm going to Yawn into this slot. I'm going to Yawn into that slot. There we go. Let's see. So he's going to withdraw, and that's fine. And this is going to be his last Pokemon. Probably Incineroar. Regieleki. Okay. Good. That's very good. Because it means that he doesn't have a real way to hit the Groudon unless he uses Zacian. So Zacian's the only thing that can hurt Groudon. So I can use Yawn here. Very nice. Very, very nice. And that should be the last turn of Wildfire. And then what I can do here is use Recover or like Moonlight on Umbreon to restore his HP, and then use Precipice Blades. Because that should KO the Regieleki. And my opponent really doesn't have any way around that. Right? Just use Moonlight. We just use Moonlight. That's just to keep our HP up, because we want to keep the Umbreon as healthy as possible, because we do want it to have 1 or 2 good hits into our opponent. So yeah, it worked up. It uses Follow Me. That's not a big deal. I don't really care about that. If he uses Volt Switch into Umbreon, he's gone. Thunderbolt into Umbreon, obviously. This shouldn't KO. And then we'll be able to just recover it all. Right? We should be able to recover. Sash, yep. That's actually good. That's actually really, really good. Because we can Moonlight and just continue to recover. Just continue to recover. Because the thing is, right? Right, yeah, now he falls asleep. Because the thing is, we can Swords Dance here. I think, like, it's a bit greedy. It's a bit greedy, but we want to take out the Clefairy at, like, the same time, I think. Or, I don't... I guess it doesn't really matter too much. Actually. Still, maybe Swords Dance. I don't know. Just to add some pressure. Yeah, just to add pressure, I think is fine. And then Foul Play into the Clefairy slot. Yep, that's fine. Protect, that's okay. The longer that the Regieleki is on the field, the better. Actually, the better. So I'm fine with that. So we can Swords Dance, and then this will allow us to hopefully take out the Clefairy next turn, right? Hopefully take out the Clefairy, because, yeah. Okay, I think that's fine. And then we should be able to Precipice Blades here, and then we can actually Snarl here, maybe? Yeah. Moonlight, maybe? Just in case? Maybe Foul Play again. No, Snarl. Snarl's fine. Snarl's fine. Helps cover for a miss. Okay, let's see. Fast Asleep, okay. Okay, Precipice Blades. Clefairy get... Oh, that's actually kind of bad. That's kind of bad. Because I wanted to hit the Clefairy. Clefairy is like the one that I really need to hit here. Alright, this is going to be a bit tougher. This is going to be a little bit tougher. Life due. Oh, that's going to be rough. Because Zacian's going to come out. It's going to outspeed. It's probably going to KO Groudon. So the main thing here is that, like, we need to be able to call it, right? We need to, because, like, it's going to use Follow Me here. Oh, that's rough. I think I'll lose this one. I feel like I had a really, really good shot, but then that miss kind of, kind of ruined that. Alright, let's see. Let's see. We definitely protect here. The problem... Yeah. Yeah. Okay. This is still winnable, but it's not ideal. Still winnable, but not ideal. I think that's the way I'll put it. Because if you're Zacian, you're just gonna target into the Groudon turn after turn. And our win condition is to make sure that one of these two Pokemon are sleeping so that we can get a free hit in. Right? So we can get a free hit in. So Zacian uses Protect. Interesting. Interesting. And that's fair though. That's fair. He was Oh, everybody protects in this. Okay, so he double protected. He double protected. So he just wanted to let's see then. He wanted to wait out my son. So how do we get around this? Because I think Zacian definitely KOs my Groudon. How much defense does my Groudon have actually? No, he definitely KOs the Groudon. I think the only way we win this is... But then it's going to be like a triple protect at that point, and I think there's no point like trying to bank on that. So we'll just go for the win. We'll just go for the win. At this point, I'm not convinced we're going to win because of that earlier miss. So that Precipice Blades miss on Clefairy like 3 turns ago probably lost us the game. But, I mean, you know, it's an inaccurate move. So there's only so much you can do. He's just going to Behemoth Blade into the Groudon. It's like the freest Behemoth Blade in his life. And it's going to KO. It doesn't KO! What? This Groudon is thick. And this double hits? Oh! Hey, I didn't have enough faith in Groudon. I didn't have enough faith in Groudon, guys. That was hype. Did you see that? Wow. I am so surprised I won that one. I'm so surprised I won that one. Because here I was thinking that the Zacian had enough attack to actually one-hit the Groudon. Because we were chipped away from the earlier damage. But not only were we able to survive that, but we were able... Hey, nice. We were able to hit back and demolish our opponents with the double Precipice Blades. That was very nice. That was very nice. Alright, but okay, so back to team building a little bit, right? So Shife was talking about... what was that Pokemon? The bug one. The Shedinja, right? So I would like to try Shedinja. The only problem with it at the moment is that because of Dynamax, there is a huge propensity of like different weathers, right? So beforehand, you know, you have like rain, you have sun, and those are like the main weathers. But with Dynamax, you can transform your rock moves and your ice moves to be, you know, to turn into different types of weather. And the problem with Shedinja is that it actually isn't protected from the weather effects. So if you have like a sandstorm, or if you have like a blizzard or whatever it's called, snow warning or whatever, then it actually gets one shot. It actually gets one shot by the weather effects at the end of each turn. So like, it's not that good, you know, because you just die at the end of the turn. So if you face off against like a Tyranitar or something like that, you know, you just die. But in the previous season, it actually wasn't that bad. There was, because like the previous season didn't have, oh, let's try again. If we can't find anybody after a second round, we're going to move to Age of Empires 4. We're going to move to Age of Empires 4 after. But, yeah, what happened is that in the previous seasons, you didn't get a lot of ice and you didn't get a lot of sand players. So you could use Shedinja very frequently. And so what happened is that you actually saw it get use in like tournaments and stuff. And, like, people were using it on rain teams to help support Kyogre, right? Because Shedinja gets this evil move called Ally Switch. And what Ally Switch does is allow it to swap places with the other Pokemon that you have. So like if you go for a specific move to target one Pokemon, it will actually hit the other Pokemon, right? And so you have like a Kyogre and he's weak to like Regieleki, like the electric moves, and he's weak to like grass moves. But you know what doesn't get hit by electric or grass moves? Shedinja. So you just swap the places on the field and Shedinja eats all the damage, and then you just like blast your opponent with your water Pokemon. And that was really cool. And that was a viable strategy a few months ago. But with the changes to the format, I don't necessarily think it's going to be that good now, but it would be interesting to see if it might work. Okay, let's see what my opponent has. So, this is interesting actually. This is like a counter to my team. This team is like a counter team to my team. It's like exactly the same, but the Tapu Lele just demolishes the Grimmsnarl and the Umbreon. How am I supposed to get around this? Okay. I don't necessarily like Venusaur a whole lot, to be honest. But I don't know if I like Grimmsnarl all that much either. Like Grimmsnarl, Umbreon. Umbreon's pretty cool. I guess Snarl might be okay. Yeah. Alright, we'll do it like that. We'll do it like that. We'll do it like that. But, you know, I think there might be ways to, I don't know, like, if you have like a strong focus on weather, then you may be able to keep Shedinja alive and help it do its stuff, you know? So it's like, you know, maybe. I'll think about it. I'll see if I can make a team. I'll see if I can make a team around that shy. Be interesting to see how it goes. Alright, so I feel like I mean, that's almost too obvious of a play. What do you think, guys? And what I mean by too obvious of a play, I'm talking about using Groudon to swap in for Charizard. And then, you know, just like protecting with the Regieleki or whatever, but that seems a bit too obvious. But you know what? I don't care if it's obvious. I mean, wait. Let me take that back. I do care if it's too obvious. I think Umbreon is actually a good play into here. And then probably just Thunderbolting into the Incin, to be honest. Because, like, my opponent might do something similar, but I don't know. We'll see. Like, Regieleki hitting an electric attack? Yeah, okay, that was... Oh, wow, that did so much damage. That's fine. I don't mind that too much. I actually don't mind that too much. Because what we can do is we can sort of Moonlight here. I guess we can Electro Web. This to me, though, Electro Ball says to me that this Regieleki is Scarf, right? I think it's Scarf. So we're going to Volt Switch out into Incin and then bring out the Groudon. Well, I'm trying to get some sleep. Good luck with your battles, Toru. No worries, Crazy Fox. No worries. I hope you take care of yourself, and thank you for coming by. I really do appreciate it. And you mentioned Scyther earlier, right? I think I may give that a shot, you know? I may try and see if there's, like, room for a Scyther-based team. So be on the lookout for that. Maybe I'll come up with it another time. But thank you for coming, Crazy Fox. I really appreciate it. So Volt Switch into the Umbreon. That's fine too, because Umbreon will just heal all that damage up. And who's he going to come into after? Let's find out. Alright. So who's he got? For Groudon? Venusaur. Okay. Okay, that's fair. And that's alright. So it's probably gonna like max grass. Right? Is the Incineroar gonna parting shot here? Into the Groudon slot? Hey, back into the Regieleki. If he's smart, he'll go into the Regieleki. That's pretty cool. Alright, let's see. I still think Umbreon's in a decent spot here. Because all we need to do is just like yawn into the Venusaur slot, right? Because he's not going to get KO'd no matter what. Right? So the obvious thing is going to be, oh, he's going to... let's find out. Okay. Okay, let's see how we do this. I think I want to Snarl. I feel like Snarl is really, really good here. But I'm gonna go with Yawn, and then I'm just gonna Protect. Because I feel like he's gonna like... Oh, okay. I felt like he was gonna like max grass into that slot, but I guess he didn't. Okay. Okay, so he just tried to Sleep Powder. And Volt Switch. And then who's gonna come in? Right? It's gonna be the Incineroar, right? Incineroar is gonna come in. And that's okay. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. Okay. So now he can just double into the, now he can double into the Groudon slot. So who's the least important of these Pokemon? Who's the least important of these Pokemon? Surely he's gonna swap Venusaur out for probably Regieleki, I imagine. Who's he got in the back? Okay. Okay. We're gonna foul... No, we're gonna Snarl. Because we know he has Regieleki, so he's probably gonna swap him out. This is such a risk. Such a risk. This is such a risky play. What I want to do is... I'm gonna do it. I don't care. This is such a risky play, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Ah! I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. What is he gonna, like, grass into it? Sleep powder into it? Okay, that's fine. Probably best that I didn't, actually. Probably best that I didn't. Yep, because we got the Lumberry. And then Snarl. Okay. Knowing that I had the Lumberry, I didn't realize I had that item. If I had realized I had that, I actually should have done something completely different. I should have just whacked this stupid thing, but that's actually alright. I've put myself in a pretty okay spot. I can just continue to do that. And then what I'll do here is I'll max... I feel like my opponent's gonna withdraw Incineroar. How many turns of Sun do we have left? 2 turns. Yeah, I feel like my opponent... Just don't mind me. I feel like my opponent is actually going to withdraw the Incineroar so that they can bring it back in later. And so, in accordance with that, we're gonna bring in Charizard. We're gonna bring in Charizard. Alright. Yep, fast asleep. Snarl. Alright, let's see what my opponent does with Incineroar. Probably Parting Shot, actually. Into Charizard, that's fine. And then Regieleki comes out. That's actually okay. I'm actually okay with that. Because now Venusaur is -2. I should have just hit it, but it's like, whatever. I don't even care anymore. Yep, that's fine. All Venusaur can do is just like hit with Sleep Powder, so that's fine. And then after this turn, he's not gonna have After this turn, he's not going to have speed anymore. So that's okay. Alright. Alright. I think last turn I probably should have just been more aggressive and then hit the Incineroar with my Groudon, right? I honestly think I should have done that last turn, but I was too preoccupied with the idea of, like, you know, trying to keep up and everything. So Electro Ball, yeah, doesn't affect Groudon. That's fine. Snarl. And that's fine, right? Because the sun goes down. And then what I can do now is bring out my Regieleki. And I'm going to try and Precipice Blades. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to Precipice Blades. I think this is fine. Because even if I get hit by Sleep Powder, it's not too bad because I don't give Venusaur like a speed boost. Yep. Yeah, and he just protects, so that's fine. That's actually fine. Volt Switch. Yep. And then Incineroar comes out and then he gets demolished. So Regieleki has to come back out at that point. Okay. Ooh, this is a long battle, guys. This is a long battle. Maybe I should just play Age of Empires. Maybe I should just play Age of Empires. Oh my goodness me. Oh my goodness me. Okay. Okay, Precipice Blades. It doesn't hit. Oh, okay. So he brings his own Groudon. Okay. These misses are really, really killing me. These misses are killing me, guys. I can't lie. These misses hurt so much. Alright, we'll Volt Switch out. He's gonna bring out his Incineroar. 100%. Yeah. Okay. I'll still go for it. I want to punish like you know, I want to punish a Protect or Mist Sleep Powder like that. Yeah. Yep. Okay, cool. And then Charizard. The only problem is if my opponent's Groudon, he's faster than mine, and then he uses like Rock Slide. That would be a big problem, but I think it should be alright. Rock Tomb? He read it! Oh, wow! He read it. Okay, that hurts, but not that much. That hurts, but not that much. If I can hit both. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, because that gets rid of Venusaur. And so that's my biggest obstacle gone, because I can actually sweep the rest with just Groudon. I can actually sweep the rest with just Groudon. So I'm not even too concerned here. Yep, Incineroar comes out. And that's fine. I actually don't mind being -1, right? Because I can actually foul play into this slot, because I don't think the Groudon, I don't think his Groudon has anything to take out my Umbreon, right? So it's like a quasi pin here. Like, I do have Regieleki in the back, but I don't need it. And so what I can do is I can foul play into his Groudon and actually just max Quake into into the Incineroar, because he can only swap out his Incineroar. He can only swap out his Incineroar for a Regieleki, and they just both get blasted, right? And then with foul play, it does enough chip damage. It does enough chip damage where my own Groudon's Max Quake can probably KO his, even if it Dynamaxes. So it's a sort of pin where, you know, having -1 on my Incineroar really isn't, you know, an active detriment. Like, I'm fine with it, right? Because he's going to use Precipice Blades, but it's not going to KO either Pokemon. I'm going to hit Max Quake, which is going to demolish his Incineroar. And then the foul play is probably going to do like 40 to 50% to his Groudon. So even if his Groudon Dynamaxes, he won't be able to take out my Groudon. So let's just see this play out. All right, foul play comes out. Good hit. Big hit. There you go. See? It's... Oh, okay. So it's a berry. Right, it heals up, but it's not enough. Oh, Groudon... that doesn't even matter. Raising its speed doesn't even matter, actually. So I'm okay with this this occurrence of events. And so he's got the Regieleki, and it's like, well, I don't really care about the Regieleki. Like, you can actually take out my Umbreon from this point. I'm going to try and Moonlight to see if that will help, right? But okay, like if we take a look at what my opponent has, right? Like, there's nothing stopping me from just taking out his Groudon, even if it's Dynamaxed, right? And so, like, his Regieleki can't physically hit mine, so we can actually just ignore the Regieleki. Yeah, so he's probably going to Dynamax his Groudon, and I think his way out of this fight is to try and double max guard in order to run out my Dynamax and then hit me afterwards. And I think that's the only chance he has. So we'll see if he can get it. It's like a 30% chance. Oh, he's not even going for it. Electro Ball might KO, but I'm +1 special defense. If it does, it's fine. And then he's going to hit me with something, right? Max Quake. And this is going to do like 30 to 40%. Yep, that did like 30-ish. And then this is going to do like less than 30%. But he's already so low that it doesn't matter, right? He's already at such a low level that it doesn't matter. Bonk. And that's just going to KO. And there we go. Because his Regieleki shouldn't have any way to hit me. And even if it did, I am now +2. Now +2 special defense. So from there, you know, this game is over. This game is over, and we've won. We've won, which is a bit of a relief. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm not gonna lie. It's a bit of a relief because these battles are hard. These battles are not easy to fight. You know, they're not easy. Right. So, with this Regieleki, I guess we can just Thunderbolt, and then we can Max Quake. And the battle should be over, because my opponent doesn't have anything left. Yep, battle was cancelled. Good win. Good win. Good win. Oh, that's rough, though. His Pokemon streams are rough. I end up wanting to play, because I do enjoy playing Pokemon, but then trying to make it an entertaining stream in itself is actually really hard. So we'll do one more game. Excuse me, we'll do one more game. And then after that, we'll pack it up. Yo, nice. Thank you. Thank you, JP. Oh, wow. Instant Trainer Prop. Instant Trainer Prop. Alright, let's see what this guy has. Calyrex. Okay, this is going to be hard. Venusaur. Okay. I like Umbreon here. Foul play from Umbreon, just like it does work on this group of Pokemon. I think Charizard's pretty good here. Like, you definitely have to bring Groudon. I think Venusaur is too good to ignore. We'll bring Groudon in the back. Or bring Grimmsnarl. Grimmsnarl kinda gets bodied. Yeah, Grimmsnarl kinda gets bodied. Oh, but he does okay into some Pokemon. I would still rather take Charizard though. So let's take Charizard. Yeah. We'll go with this. We'll go with this. I think that his Landorus is going to be really difficult to get off the board. It depends on how my opponent leads, because he's got a few good ways. He's got a few ways to get Trick Room up or pressure my Pokemon. So it'll be interesting to see how he does it. Okay, so he's just going to do this. In which case, it's not too bad. Like, we can just Snarl here, we can play slow, we can be defensive, right? We don't need to go for like the super hard plays or the super hard reads, and then we can actually, what we can do is we can sleep powder into the Venusaur because he doesn't have anything that can avoid it, right? So we can pretty safely, I guess, if he goes into Torkoal and then Weather Balls, that could be a pretty cool play. Hey, if he does that, I'll give it to him. if he does that, I'll give it to him. Oh, okay, my sleep powder misses. Oh, come on! Why does my sleep powder miss in his hit? Come on, what is that? What is that? Why does mine miss in his hit? I don't mind if we trade sleep powders and we both hit, but how come mine misses and then his hits? That's so unfair. Where? Alright, that's fine. I still want to Snarl. Thing is, Umbreon is really strong here and it's going to be difficult for him to get it off the board regardless. So it's like, it's not the worst position. And actually, well, this turn I'm guaranteed to... Well, no, I'm not guaranteed to sleep this turn, actually. Okay. He's probably going to Water Spout. We're going to Water Spout and then withdraw the Venusaur. So we're going to try and MLG this guy. Let's find out. Maybe I'm wrong. But I want to reduce the damage of Water Spout coming out. And I want to catch a potential Calyrex switching. Okay, doesn't look... Oh! He's Dynamaxing. Who's he Dynamaxing? Wait, he's going to Dynamax Venusaur in that stage? Ah, okay. Well, let's see how this pans out for him. Did he read me? Did he read? If he did, that would be actually pretty impressive. Dynamaxing the Venusaur. Shadow Ball. Okay, that's fine. Like, that's okay. I don't like that, but it's... I really don't like that, but it's whatever. Umbreon fast to sleep. That one is unfortunate. Vine Lash on Umbreon. That's okay. Yeah, that's actually okay. There we go. Because now we can do that. And that will heal him up quite a lot. Now that Venusaur is actually at a pretty, yeah, Venusaur's at a level where it's difficult for him now. So, I guess we can Moonlight. Let's see. I don't want to give up my Groudon straight away. But I think I might. If we go Moonlight, it safeguards us for another turn. Like, they might double onto Umbreon, so it's still worth trying. And... I'm gonna go for it. Let's get some chip damage on. I should probably protect, but we'll see. Hydro Pump into Umbreon, okay. Yeah, because I'm thinking they might double into Umbreon this turn. Umbreon's asleep, that's unfortunate. If Umbreon woke up, I'd actually be in a really, really good spot, you know? Umbreon woke up, I'd be in a good spot. If he doubles his... Oh, okay, that's okay. I can probably accept that. I can probably accept that. Because what my opponent's chosen to do is, you know, sort of divide his damage. And that sort of thing is not too bad. I'll go out into Venusaur now. It depends on who's, like, faster between my Venusaur and his Venusaur. But the fact that he's about to finish his Dynamax is pretty good here. Because, like, who's he got in the back, right? Yeah, at that stage, I would definitely just... Yeah. I would definitely You want to Moonlight here. And then we're going to try and Weather Ball into his Venusaur. I want to reserve my Dynamax as much as possible. So he's going to Hydro Pump. I don't think this kills, especially because we're in Sun. But I need to wake up this turn, right? And if I can wake up this turn, I should be able to Moonlight myself past the point. Past the point of getting one-shot by Vine Lash. And keeping Umbreon alive is super, super important here. Ah, okay. I was hoping that I would win that one, but I lost the speed tie. Ah, that's a little unfortunate. That's a little unfortunate, but we're on the last turn of Dynamax. We're on the last turn of G-Max, and we're also on the last turn of Trick Room. So this actually really works out for me. And this works out for me fine, to be honest. Because now I can just go into the Venusaur, and my opponent really doesn't have a whole lot to stop me. Alright? And I'll show you what I mean. Right? Because he can protect. Or he can go out into another Pokemon. Maybe like a Torkoal, right? But even if he goes out into a Torkoal, it probably doesn't end out well for him. And so what I can just do here is get the... I can get Airstream. Or I can get Wildfire. Wildfire probably seems like the best idea for me right now. Because who does he have in the back? None of them are going to outspeed me, right? So even if he brings out Torkoal, it's still going to hurt a lot. And this should be the last turn of Trick Room as well. So currently Venusaur is still faster. So my opponent is in a really awkward spot. And I don't think that he wants to bring anybody in. Like, yeah. So who's he going to withdraw? And who's going to come in? Yeah, Torkoal. That's fine because I'm going to hit it with the Snarl. Right? And then who's going to come in next? Because -1 Torkoal is not going to do that. He's probably got Calyrex Ice as his last Pokemon. Even if he's protecting Venusaur here, we probably still KO. He's not even going to protect. That's fine. So this is just going to do 1 bazillion damage. There you go. Very nice. Alright. Alright, that's fine. My opponent's play is probably to use Yawn on Torkoal. So let's see what we can do. Right, let's see what we can do and try and get him around it. So he probably put in the Torkoal to Yawn. Dimensions go back to normal. So who does he have? Okay, back to the Jellicent. And it's like I'm in a bit of a weird position, right? I'm in a bit of a weird position because I could deny Trick Room or I could play for the potential Yawn setup. And to be honest, I have to be really, really, really honest. I actually don't care. Let's see. Yeah, I think Moonlight's no, we can go another Snarl, and then we can just go with like Airstream. Yeah, like if we get hit by Yawn, so be it. If we get hit by Yawn, so be it. I want to put my Umbreon in the spot where it's like this Torkoal is going to be -2 now. You know, I think it's more important to have speed control than it is to stay awake. Because we will still get 1 hit off. Right, we'll still get 1 hit off. So even if he Yawns my Charizard, I think that's okay. Because we'll get like 1 really, really big hit going. He uses Body Press too. It's not even Yawn. And that doesn't even KO. That doesn't even KO. Alright. Alright, we're in a fantastic position now. Because now Umbreon has the capacity to just Moonlight. Calyrex, that's fine. That's fine. Calyrex is probably gonna just well, what can he do here? Because I'm pretty sure. I guess if Wildfire doesn't KO, maybe it doesn't. So we're gonna easy to protect, right? I'm gonna Moonlight here, and no, we gotta prevent the potential Trick Room. We have to prevent the potential Trick Room, so we have to go all in here. We have to go all in. It's the only way around this. And he's going for the Trick Room. He's not protecting. Yep. Doubling in was 100% the right play. I'm so happy I was able to get that. Very nice. Very, very nice. Alright, I gotta head off. Good luck. No worries, Sharf. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Thank you for coming. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. So he's just gonna Body Press. And now it's just Charizard. It's just Charizard versus Torkoal. But I should be able to take it from here, right? Because even though I don't have like Sun or anything, like my attacks aren't super strong, they should still be enough to take out Torkoal because we have a little secret, my friends. We have something called Ancient Power. We have Ancient Power, so we would be able to just take him out no matter what. Right, this should be like a 2-hit KO. Yeah, 2-hit KO. And we get the Omni Boost. We get the Super Boost. Oh, look at that. Look at that. So powerful. Oh. And this isn't going to KO. Not in the least. Yeah. Yeah. Game's over. Game's over. Very nice. Very nice. Alright. We played that out pretty well. Despite some early pressure, we were able to play that out really well. And I'm happy. I am quite pleased with the out. Excuse me. But I think... just hold on a sec. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. Alright. That was a good win. That was a good win, guys. I'm really happy we got that. So, let's see where we end up on the ladder. After that victory. After that hard-fought victory. Ba-boom! We got to the next tier! Yay! Awesome, awesome, awesome. I was a little bit, I have to admit, not gonna lie. Never gonna lie to you guys. I got a little tilted after we had the first turn sleep powder, where I missed my sleep powder, but my opponent was able to get his sleep powder. I was a little bit miffed as a result of that, but I think that we were able to turn it around and do pretty well with this team. So, with all of that said, let's just hop over to here. Alright, let's hop over to here. Hello, how are you guys doing? Thank you all for coming to the stream today. I really do appreciate it. So, in regards to like how things went today, I think they went alright. The issue is that like, I think that while Pokemon battling like competitively is personally very satisfying and personally very fun, I think it's actually very difficult to make like a stream around. Like, I don't have the personality where I can multitask between entertaining a stream and like, you know, talking about Pokemon and making my moves. So I'm in the sort of weird position, right? I'm in the weird, awkward position where I feel like I have to narrate everything that I'm doing just to ensure that there's no dead air. But then as a result, I don't feel like my kind of discussion and my sort of like presence is really all that good, you know, like really all that entertaining to listen to. So like when we're playing games like Age of Empires, or when I was playing Disco Elysium, or if I'm playing something like Guild Wars 2, right? I feel like my ability to sort of like go off on tangents and, you know, talk with you guys a bit more one-to-one and that kind of thing, I feel like it's better in those games than it is in this game, because like I'm trying to try hard, right? I'm try-harding, you know, I'm a salt factory. I'm trying my best to, you know, get everything going the way I want in the game. And so I feel like maybe going forward, I'll probably play a little bit less of like ranked and competitive Pokemon, because even though my results are still going quite well, I think my ability to entertain the stream is not as good. And to me personally, that's more important, right? I actually care more. I actually care less about my results in the game than I do about like having a stream that's, you know, fun and you know, like where I'm talking with you guys, or I'm, you know, telling stories where, you know, it's like, it's not boring, you know? Because the thing with competitive Pokemon is that, and it's the case with a lot of other games, right? It's the case with a lot of other games, especially once you start playing high-end stuff. So actually MMOs is a pretty good example too. So if I were raiding, this would be the same thing. If I were raiding in Guild Wars 2, let's say, this would be the same situation where it feels like in order to follow along with the action, you need to have a certain level of base knowledge that most people just simply don't have. And the reason people don't have it is because they're not in, you know, they're not, you know, sufficiently like into the game. So like with Pokemon Sword and Shield, like the competitive stuff, I'm pretty sure you guys in chat haven't been devouring like dozens of hours of like, Pokemon competitive content on YouTube. I'm pretty sure you guys don't watch tournament streams. I'm pretty sure you guys don't like pour over. I'll give you an example if I can find one. I'm pretty sure you guys don't pour over like Pokemon Showdown to make your own teams. Hold on, I'll show you guys an example of what I'm talking about, right? Like over the last like 3 weeks, 3 weeks or whatever, I've been going on Pokemon Showdown a decent amount. And the reason why I've been going there, right? The reason why I've been going there is because I want to see, I want to theory craft certain ideas and certain teams. And I'm pretty sure, like, hold on, if I can find it. They're like, look at this, guys. Like, look at this. Like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams. Like, I'm pretty sure you guys aren't going on Pokemon Showdown.com/team builder at 1:15 a.m. on a work night, on a weekday, on a weeknight to make, to theory craft these sorts of weird teams because there's a specific Pokemon that you want to showcase and you say to yourself, oh man, I want to make a Pokemon team and I want to theory craft, a really good Pokemon, blah, 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 and all of that. So I'm pretty sure you guys, don't get into that kind of stuff. So, because, because your life isn't consumed, because your lives aren't consumed by, theory crafting in a children's video game, Furry Fantasy League of Welcome Jazaku, of course you would focus in on that. But take a look at the Pokemon, right? So there's Dragonite, there's Entei, there's Tapu Fini, there's Rillaboom. Oh, actually, wait, no, it should have actually been. So the Entei was originally Incineroar, right? And then so you have Incineroar, Rillaboom, and then Urshifu, and that's like the Furry Fantasy League. There we go. But welcome to the stream, Jazaku. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys don't like, spend all your free time trying to theory craft the children's video games. So when it comes to like the battles and stuff, there's a certain level of base knowledge that you need in order to follow along. And it can be really, really difficult to follow along if you don't have that level of base knowledge. And that holds true for a lot of video games, specifically to do with like the end game of a particular game. So if someone were to show me, right, high level like Genshin Impact gameplay, like if you're doing the end game or something along those lines, I would have no conception of what's going on. I just see, ooh, pretty waifu, or oh, pretty environment. Like that's all I can understand, right? And so the rest of that is contingent on like the streamer to try and build that connection to the chat of people who may not necessarily be that familiar with the gameplay and sort of build that connection so that you're invested in their success. And so I feel like when it comes to competitive Pokemon, it's really difficult for me to do that because I'm spending a lot of my brain power trying to make decisions in the game, and I'm not really doing a good job of entertaining you guys as well, or like bringing you guys in and getting you invested in the success as well, which is a failing on my part because guys, like I have room temperature IQ, okay? My room right now, I've got the air conditioning on, so my room right now is like 17 degrees, 18 degrees, 19 degrees. Guess what my IQ is, So it's difficult enough. It's difficult enough to press the stream button. It's difficult enough to onga bonga my way through Pokemon. And then, to have a stream on top of that. It's too much for me. It's too much for me. I have this hat here, right? I have this hat here and it looks like it fits nice and snugly on the top of my brain. But what you guys don't understand, right? But what you guys don't understand is that my brain is actually caved in and this hat does not rest neatly on my head. What it does is it hides the truth from the world that my brain is caved in because I have nothing inside. No thoughts, head empty. Head empty, no thoughts. There we go. So JP says, Pokemon stream, we try hard, all focused and silently and cover the skill screen every turn to prevent stream sniping. Kino? I don't know. I don't know if that would be I don't know if that would be that would be too Kino. That would actually be kind of cringe. Actually, maybe. I've seen people do that before where they're like actually high-level tournament players, and they're trying to stream their run, and they want to prevent... Oh my god, my BGM hasn't been playing the whole time. Rip. That's what I mean about low IQ, guys. But yeah, I've seen some streams where you're having high-level tournament players, and they've got like the chat covers up and all of that sort of things to prevent stream sniping. And I think that's pretty cool. You know, if you're a high level enough player who can sort of mentally juggle all of the different considerations and then be able to go back after your turn and explain why you did what you did to the chat, I think like if you can do it, you should do it. You know, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But like for me personally, I find it really difficult to juggle like those two aspects. So we went 4-2 today. And we did pretty well. I think the 2 losses were at like the start of the stream, and that usually that mainly just came down to me not being 100% on how to pilot the team. All right, because like I'd never used this team before. It's a rental team. It's not my team. I didn't theory craft it. I didn't put it together. It was a rental team. And so I needed a little bit of time to become more familiar with it. And then once I was able to understand how the different modes worked and how it all came together, then you started to see me do a bit better, because I ended up winning 4 in a row to finish off the stream. And, you know, we're in a good position now. We ranked up. We're doing well. And we're good to go. We're good to go. But thank you for coming so much, guys. I really do appreciate it. So I'm going to hop off for the time being. Should I raid anybody? Should I raid anybody? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Maybe not today. Maybe not today. Maybe I'll come back another time. But for the time being, I don't have like a schedule sort of laid out. And the reason why I don't have a schedule sort of laid out is simply because I don't know what my schedule is going to be. I don't know what my schedule is going to be. I do have a lot of busy things going on with my life right now, especially with work and all of that kind of stuff. So for the next month or so, I'm going to be pretty question mark on my availability. But the thing is, like, okay, here's the thing. All right, let's talk a little bit of real hours. Right, let's talk a little bit of real hours. Like, there are a lot of people out there with more challenging work, with more demanding work, with more time-consuming work, right? Because I am but a turtle, but, you know, like, you work like a wagey job and you have certain responsibilities, right? You have certain responsibilities in that job, but what's happening for me right now is that due to the situation, due to like the life situation of other coworkers, the work and the responsibilities that I am expected to have and expected to undertake is starting to increase, and it'll really swing into full motion at the start of next year. So, you know, when it comes to stream consistency, I actually don't really know what my stream is going to look like, you know, over the next year. I don't know. I'm hoping I can still keep streaming, but what's going to be happening is that I'm going to be assuming direct control. I wish I could assume direct control, but I will be assuming quite a bit more responsibilities. And, you know, that's not necessarily a bad thing. That's actually a pretty good thing, because that will also come, right? That will also come with benefits, particularly financial benefits. But yeah, you know, transitioning into more advanced roles and taking on the responsibilities that, you know, previously people higher up had to do means that a lot more of my mental energy, not necessarily time, sometimes time, but not always time, but more of my mental energy is going to be dedicated into work. And part of that is simply because the scope of my responsibilities will now involve parts of the work that, you know, that's worth more money. So, you know, if I fuck up, the cost of that fuck up may run pretty high. Let's just put it that way, right? The kind of responsibilities that I will be assuming will ensure that jobs and work in the 6-figure range, in the 7-figure range,
will be dependent on my input now, will be dependent on, you know, the work that I do. And so if the work that I do is substandard, or if the work that I do is wrong and everything falls through the floor, well, you know, it's not just the work that's gonna fall through the floor, it's gonna be my face that falls through the floor too. I'll just put it that way, guys. I mean, like I said, there will be benefits as a result of all that. You know, there will be financial benefits as the result of all that. And I'm hoping that, you know, some of that cash money, if you will, some of those turtle coins will, you know, will be used wisely when when I watch other VTubers on YouTube and Twitch, and I'll have more money to donate to them. No. Can you imagine actually? No, you know what? I don't know how many people I don't think many people would be like this, but I also don't doubt that people like this exist, right? Because I've seen over the last year or so, right? Because everything to do with lockdown, right? Lockdown and the pandemic and the general global situation has seen the explosion of popularity in the idea of VTubing and VTubers in general, especially in the Western market, right? Because like when it comes to, let's say, because like, you know, VTubers originated in Japan, blah, blah, blah. When it comes to the Japanese market, it's like, it's already reached like a certain level of market saturation. So, you know, if you're into those sorts of things to begin with, if you're into like online entertainment, if you're into anime, if you're into manga, if you're into personalities that fall into those tropes and that kind of thing, then you would already be interested in that kind of culture. And because it's perpetuated there in Japan for longer than it has in the West, then the market has reached some kind of like sort of saturation, and there's no, you know, like open growth points, right? You know, no huge growth points left, I would say, in Japan. But when it comes to the West, I don't know. Like, if we talk about last year specifically and like the start of this year, so many factors came together at once to like propel this explosion of popularity for like, you know, VTubers in the Western sphere. And I think it's pretty cool. But the point I was eventually getting to is that like the explosion of popularity happened so fast and so hard that I do know that there are people out there that specifically improved their lives. So they worked on themselves, they worked on their careers, they worked on their living situations, they did their reps specifically so that they could dedicate more time or more money to VTubers, you know, to their Oshi. And I think on one hand, I find that extremely amusing. It's really funny to me that, you know, people will go to such lengths and dedicate so much of themselves to you know, to anime girls, to anime men and women on the internet, right? Like on one hand, I find that extremely funny, but on the other hand, I think that it's good, right? Like, okay, the VTuber is saying that simping for VTubers is good, you know, news at 11, right? But I mean in general, because a lot of these people who, you know, who improve their lives for their Oshi may not necessarily have done so if they weren't so enraptured by the specific VTubers that they're being inspired by. And I think, generally speaking, if you can find a muse, if you can find an inspiration, if you can find a purpose, especially in the world the way that it is right now, you know, with the pandemic, with how everything's sort of like, you know, atomized and all of that sort of thing, if you can find some sort of inspiration in your life to make positive change and work towards a productive goal, I think that's a good thing, you know? I think that's a good thing. Yes, I wonder who, Kenja, I wonder who. I should start juggling with shares and finance so that I can super Akka's Weekly. Oh, thank you for the follow. Trouble Games, Z Trouble Games. Thank you for the follow. Really appreciate it. Thank you. I should start juggling with shares and finance so I can super Akka's Weekly. Oh, I don't know about that, JP. I don't know about, maybe if you like become like an oil baron or something like that, you could say, oh, okay, you know, I'm going to donate,
what is it, like $100, €100, 100, kangaroo bucks to my Oshi every single week. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Can you actually afford to donate over $5,000 a year? That's a lot of money, JP. I don't know about that. Would your Oshi even want that, though? Would your Oshi even want that? Would she want you to donate so much money to her? Or would she want you to take that money and use it to improve your life? To improve yourself? If it improves their lives and they don't cross creepy lines, it's good. Exactly, Eric. That's exactly the... Thank you. It's nice to know. It's nice to know that my ramblings is resonating with some people, because that's exactly how I feel about it, Like, the main point here, right? The main point here for me is that people are finding a purpose. People are finding inspiration. People are finding reasons to improve themselves and improve their general situation. And as long as people don't feel like the money that they give has some sort of expectations attached, then I think that's all right, because at the end result is that people are trying to improve their lives when they previously weren't trying to. And it's like, oh, you're doing it for an anime girl? It's like, well, I'm improving my life. So what, if your life is doing better than it was yesterday, that's the main thing. And so I always ask, I don't always ask. I always try to maintain this idea that people don't have to be in the perfect situation right now. I mean, like, how many people out there do you guys know who are doing perfectly right now? Very, very few, if any, right? Because, like, grass is greener always on the other side and that sort of thing. Everybody always have gripes. Everybody always has issues. Very, very, very few people have perfect lives. But the main thing to keep into account is, what are you doing to try and improve your life? Because it doesn't really matter if you're not in your end situation. It doesn't really matter if you're in the spot where you want to be for the rest of your life right now. What matters is that you're moving in the right direction, that you're taking steps, that you have goals in mind, that you are working towards, And so, even if you're not in the perfect life right now, if you're moving in the right direction, you will eventually get there. And the whole point, right? Because, again, it's a cliche to say, but life is a journey. And the whole point is that we spend our entire lives, right? We spend our entire lives moving towards certain goals, so that at the end of our lives, we can take a look back at the journey that we've taken, and we can say, look, not necessarily everything we've been able to do, but I'm happy and I'm proud of what I've been able to accomplish over the course of my life. So I hope everybody in chat, even if your life is not in a perfect situation right now, I hope you guys have identified goals, have identified things that you want to do, and you are working towards them in a productive and a positive and constructive way, so that once it's all said and done, you can take a look back and say, hey, I'm pretty proud of what I've done. And I think that's really, really important. I think that is really, honestly, the most important, because a lot of people, sort of, like, there's sort of like an undertone, right, in society, at least at this point in time, where it feels like the idea of, like, like the sort of idealized life that people had maybe 30, 40, 50 years ago is sort of out of reach now, right? House prizes makes it difficult, starting a family is a lot more difficult, keeping a long-term job is a lot more difficult, and that sort of thing. But if you can make steps, even if they're small steps, as long as you walk in the right direction, you will get to your destination eventually, and you'll be able to look back on what you've done, and say, hey, I've put my all into it. I've done the right thing. And I'm proud of what I've accomplished. And that's the main thing. If my family situation was normal again, I would be able to put aside several hundred a month. But would you Oshi want that, JP? Would you Oshi want that? Well, I'm sure... I'm sure some VTubers would be really happy, but I'm pretty sure your Oshi would want you to look after your own financial situation first and foremost, and put money aside for yourself. We should ask our personal financial advisor for more investment advice. Well, who would that be, Kenjo? Who would that be? Who would that be? But Toru, I want to be the top 0.01% of Twitch. Sag, oh, welcome to the stream, Setsu. How are you doing today? How are you doing today? But well, that no, I shouldn't say this. I'm gonna get banned if I say this. Okay. Don't clip this, guys. Don't clip this. But if you want to get to the top 0.01% of Twitch, then just buy viewer bots. Just buy bots. View bot your stream. Fake it until you make it. No, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm joking. It's a joke. It's not real. It's a joke. I'm joking. Not real. Not real advice. No. What if my goal is to be a billionaire, but neither of my parents have a few $100,000 they can invest in my startup? Oh, that's unfortunate, Catalan. Well, you know, it's unfortunate that, you know, your parents can't give you a couple, you know, like, you know, just like a small business loan of a couple $1,000,000. That's really unfortunate to hear. But I'm pretty sure, Kathleen, if you know, if you do the right thing and pull yourself up by the bootstraps, I'm pretty sure that you will become a billionaire someday, right? You just gotta like, you know, put some, you know, you gotta just like put some elbow grease on it, you know, pull yourself up by the bootstraps, and things will happen. Things will happen. She would be concerned and start concern posting about me, but still be grateful. Oh, JP, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I mean, maybe you're right. I guess you would know your Oshi. I guess you would know your Oshi better than I would. But I mean, I would still say that you gotta look after yourself, you know? You gotta look after yourself. I see. I'm glad you see, Setsu. I'm glad you see. All right. Thank you for the chat, guys. I really do appreciate it, but I think I'm gonna hop off for the time being. Like I said, I'm not too sure about like my consistency going forward, which is a little bit of a shame. I do want to play a little bit more of Guild Wars 2 this week, right? Because I may be getting into some groups with some friends, and what they might be doing is like, you know, getting me into raids and that sort of thing. And there are a couple of, like, I do need to get like a different character up and running, like a power character. So I would want to do like hero points. And if I can find like a hero point, like train event or something like that, then I definitely would want to stream that, because like that's a really cool community event, right? And so that's one of the cool things about Guild Wars 2, right? I like, Guild Wars 2 is the only MMO that I've dedicated a significant amount of time to, so my ability to compare, my frame of reference, to compare it with other MMOs is pretty limited, right? It's pretty limited. So I'm not going to pretend that, you know, I'm speaking from authority. But when it comes to like community events, open community events, as opposed to like closed community events, and when I say closed community events, I mean like guild events and that sort of thing. When it comes to open community events, so just random people in the overworld and that sort of thing, I feel like Guild Wars 2 does like a really stellar job of including people and bringing people in and crafting content that encourages people to just sort of naturally group up without grouping up. And complete it together to like create that kind of community feel, you know, the way that the world boss trains work, the way that like the hero point trains work, that the way that the meta events work and that sort of thing. I think that, you know, Guild Wars 2 is really onto something when they design the open world events like that. I also do think that the way that they design certain events leads to certain pitfalls as well. So it's not all perfect. It's not all perfect, mind you, but that said, I do think that there is a lot of merit to the way that they do it, and I do think it's a lot of fun, right? I was playing Guild Wars 2 a little bit over the last few weeks. I did some raids, like I played Doom CM with a few friends, and we did some other stuff as well. But I'm looking forward to, you know, more consistent play, because I want to do some open world stuff. I want to do more story stuff, and I want to do like maybe some raid content. I know, 15 minutes ago, or maybe 20 minutes ago, I'm here talking about how, oh my god, I don't have the brain cells to try hard content. I don't have the brain cells to try hard content and talk to chat at the same time. Blue, 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 blue. And then here I am now saying that, oh, I want to stream raids. And, you know, duality of turtles, guys, duality of turtles. But I do think that some raid content, Guild Wars 2, would be interesting. And if I occupy low stress roles, low, you know, like a DPS role, if I can play an Unga Bunga DPS where I don't really have to think, I just, oh, me hit boss. And then that's the extent of my involvement in the raid, then I still think I could do a decent job of entertaining people while I do it, right? It's something that I do want to try. It's something that I do want to try because, you know, like, I do want to stream more Guild Wars 2. Like, I have periods with the game where I run very hot and cold with it in terms of how I feel about it. But at the end of the day, I have dedicated a significant amount of time to the game. I am fairly knowledgeable about the game. And I do have some pretty strong emotions and some strong memories related to the game. And I would love, you know, a chance to sort of share all of that emotion, share those stories, and, you know, share all of those experiences with, you know, with people in the void, with you guys on Twitch, right? I do want to sort of like talk about my previous experiences. I do want to talk about what I think about MMOs, what I think about Guild Wars, and I do want to give people an idea, right? Especially if you're new to the game, but even if you know, even if you are a veteran of the game, you know, I want to give people an idea of what the veteran Guild Wars 2 experience is like, you know, or even just like a newbie experience as well, because I'm using an alt account where I have like nothing unlocked, right? And so that's definitely one thing I want to do. I also want to continue my Disco Elysium playthroughs, right? I also want to continue my Disco Elysium playthroughs because I started with like the tinfoil hat, the conspiracy run, right? And I want to keep that going. I think my first stream was like a little bit slow, right? Because I was trying to explain the context of everything. But if I play it again, I definitely will, you know, try and go through things a little bit faster so that we can focus on like the reactions and like focus on the story and all of that sort of thing, because I do think that Disco Elysium is a very excellently written game. It's very interesting, it's very compelling, and I think that the kind of writing and the way they weave it into like the idea that you use your skills to develop your own character's personality, I think that the way that they've done that is almost unparalleled in the RPG genre, because a lot of RPGs tend to focus on like building your character through physical stats, through combat, right? And so even if you have games that allow you to complete the content without getting into combat, they have to juggle like those systems with the combat systems themselves. So let's take a game like Fallout, for example, because Fallout, and this is also something that I do because I love Fallout New Vegas, you know. I've got a big iron on my hip, you know. When it comes to like Fallout, right, you generally have this idea that you can play the game in like a stealth-oriented kind of way, or in a dialogue-oriented kind of way, or like a combat-oriented kind of way. But then by having like the sort of breadth of options, then what happens in Fallout is like you sort of lack the depth and the nuance. So you can create characters that have a certain personality archetype, but because there's only so many options that you have in dialogue, you know, you need to stick to sort of basic and, you know, sort of kind of simple concepts and then play it by ear and go the closest that you can to that concept in your options, right? And so you can roughly roleplay some kind of build, some kind of character idea, but it's not going to be 100% exact simply because there's not enough options to cover the kind of depth that you want, with your dialogue or with your role play. But with a game like Disco Elysium, it doesn't have the combat system. It doesn't have to sort of like juggle those sorts of different systems and mechanics. So the way that you can express your character, it's still limited by the dialogue tree, yes, but the extent to which you can explore a certain personality archetype tends to be a lot deeper than what you can in a game like Fallout. And so the most obvious example of that is the exploration of like political ideas and that sort of thing, because even though Fallout does have politics, and they don't want to make like too many like exact parallels to like real world politics, even though they avoid that, it's like, the nuance of political opinion that you can express and that you can state your character to believe is a lot more shallow than what you can have in Disco Elysium. So, I do think that for exploration of like a character, for the idea of fleshing out yourself, and I think that actually ties in really well with the idea that you have amnesia. So like, you as a player are fleshing out your character personality, while you as the character in-game is fleshing out the character personality because you're trying to retrace all the steps that you've lost, as a result of the amnesia. I think that's really cool. Like, it's a nice sort of parallel, because there's a lot of games that do use the amnesia kind of mechanic, right? Or like the story idea that, oh, your character's got amnesia, that's why you can, do all these sorts of different things that your character, didn't necessarily have before or didn't necessarily believe in before. You can do all of that now, right? And so I do think that Disco Elysium is one of the few games that is able to leverage that idea and use it effectively, right? It's very, very cool how you can sort of discover stuff about your character and then have it play into like, your identity and how you see the character. I think it's very cool. Are you sure it's not a time travel story, says Setsu? I don't know. I mean, like, I'm not gonna lie. I am partial to time traveling detective stories, I might have a little bit of a preference for that sort of thing, I'm not gonna lie, but I don't think Disco Elysium specifically is about time travel, Setsu. All right. I think with all of that said, I think I've talked your guys' head off a little too much today. So I do apologize for because these little post-stream wrap-ups. They only usually last like 5 to 10 minutes or whatever, but I think I've been yammering on for like half an hour now. So I do apologize for taking up all your time, and, especially if you're busy today, I do appreciate that, you guys are coming to spend the time with me here, on Twitch with your good old, your good old pal, Toru. I do appreciate that, guys. So thank you so much. But I will be wrapping up at this time. So, like I said, I do want to continue Disco Elysium. I do want to continue Guild Wars 2. But I'll keep you guys posted, because I'm not 100% sure on when all of that is going to happen. But I will have details on my Twitter. It's in my About page here on Twitch. I have linked my Twitter there. So go ahead and check that out. And I will let you guys know, before every stream, I will always post on Twitter beforehand. Because I'm addicted to that stupid Bluebird site. I can't help myself. I see someone on Twitter post some sort of weird opinion. I need to respond. No, I'm joking. I don't do that. I don't do that at all. I'm joking. I see all of that stuff and I just ignore it. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people on Twitter, they talk a lot, but then they don't do a whole lot. They don't actually do a whole lot. So it's really not for me. That's really not for me. But I will always post updates and details on future streams on my Twitter. So please go check that out. Welcome, Ghoul. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? Thank you for the hydrate, Redeem. I don't know if you heard that, but I actually just did pour a little bit of extra water to drink to the Redeem. So thank you very much, Ghoul. I appreciate it. All right, let's go. There we go. I don't know why my eyes shut like that. It made me look like I was drinking more than I actually was. But yeah, I'm gonna finish up for the time being. Please look forward to more streams. I'll try and stream again this week. I'm not 100% though, because it does depend on my schedule and it does depend on my energy levels, right? It does depend on my energy levels because, as I was saying earlier, I have an increase in responsibilities, an increase in hopefully pay, and an increase in a lot of things that will take up a lot of time and or energy. So I can't necessarily say that I'll be back to consistent streaming this week or the next week or whenever, but I am hoping that in the next month or so I can get back to doing schedules, streaming at a consistent time, and then starting to look at streaming for longer times. I'm looking forward to that, and I hope that I'll be able to do that in the future. And I hope that when and if I can do that, all of you guys in chat will be there with me, because we'll be doing more streams, we'll be doing bigger streams, and hopefully we'll be doing a bit more variety in the streams as well. But for the time being, we've got Guild Wars, comfy Guild Wars, and tinfoil hat Disco Elysium to look forward to on the horizon. So, so look forward to all of that, and I will update you on the Bluebird. But for tonight, for the time being, I am going to hop off. So I really appreciate everybody who is here, whether you're lurking, whether you were here for just one moment, or whether you were here for the whole stream. From Toru to you, thank you. Take care of yourselves, guys. And I hope to see you all around next time.